Grand Coalition. This is the one that has the sour lemon face on Joe Kamanya. A grand coalition in the making. A meeting convened by former President Uhuru Kenyatta and held at Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka's SKM command center yesterday bore the hallmarks of a grand opposition coalition taking shape ahead of next year's general election. After admitting 3 new parties into the Azimio La Umoja coalition and opening its doors to more like-minded outfits, the Uhuru-led coalition has stepped up efforts to broaden its national support. With Edwin Sifuna's Linda Mwananchi and Rigathi Gachagwa's DCP among those being courted, the drive to field a united front and make President William Ruto a one-term leader is gathering momentum, evoking memories of the narc wave that swept to power in 2002. And so who do you see there? SKM Kalonzo Musyoka, DCP Rigathi Gachagua, Charity Ngilu, who chased people over the weekend, Martha Karua, Edwin Sifuna. Oh my God, I've forgotten his name. Eugene Wamalwa and
Fred Okang.
Did you say Matiang'i? Oh, Fred Matiang'i. And of course, there's Uhuru Kenyatta in the middle of it. It would appear as though he's the puppet master, and those are the strings. And it's a very interesting image, I think. And those are the strings that are connecting all of these people together. So, in terms of what it means, well, we'll have a conversation about that at some point. Now, Mimi, through this headline, I want to irritate you just a little bit.
Rub it in.
Here we go. 5.3 billion. Billion. Imagine that number.
B.
5.3 billion.
Shillings worth of medicines have been wasted in 5 years. The person who is telling you this, the people who are telling you this, is the Ministry of Health, not ATO. Them, me, we, us, me. Inside our house, 5 billion shillings worth of medicine has been wasted. Wasted, I don't know if it's been thrown away, burnt, discarded, whatever. The COVID-19 period was characterized by emergency procurement of strategic health commodities, global supply chain disruptions, and uncertain demand patterns. This according to Aiden Duale, who's the CS for Health. Now, what does that mean? That in this state of panic, they were just buying. Okay. Still is no excuse, in my opinion, because these things should be based on this 4-letter word, 2 letters repeated, called data. When you are buying, do you know the number of people that you have? You had people who are standing on the steps of Afia House every day telling us the numbers. So these numbers should have then been able to inform certain things. What they are not telling us, that it is very clear that there were deals.
That were cut.
There was a story that was done for which my friend has been sued.
COVID billionaires.
Yes, there's a story that Dennis Okari did, and we can say this because it's in the public eye. And he's been taken to court because he named certain people. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to come and say 5.3 billion shillings worth of medicine has been wasted, and you're giving the COVID era some of the blame because, global supply chains, we didn't know what was going to happen.
COVID happened.
Blah, blah. So we decided just to buy and just to be buying. Well done.
5.3 billion later.
Right.
Wasted down the drain.
I don't think we appreciate how much 5.3 billion is. Now, 1 billion shillings, 1 billion. If I gave you 100,000 shillings every single day, it would take you 27 years to spend to finish 1 billion. Overstand?
Understand. Understand, Anga. 5.3 billion
now,
shillings.
Take that and multiply it by 5. If I was giving you 100k a day.
Yes.
All right? Okay. So, but now we are saying that money, medicine, down the crapper. Audit report exposes gaps in fight against illegal pesticides. I'm going to continue talking about this story. One Gladys Boss Cholet at some point brought before the House of Parliament that she was quite concerned that the pesticides that were being used in Kenya are what? They're substances that have been banned, not rejected, banned in Europe. But somehow they're finding themselves to the shores of Africa, and we are taking them like idiots and putting them in our crop, and then we are wondering and then we're wondering why suddenly there's a surge in things like non-communicable diseases like cancer and etc. She pushed and pushed. Parliament did the normal thing that they did and just kind of ignored it. I would love to have a conversation with her and ask her, Auntie, how far with this thing? Because guess what? there's a gap in the fight against illegal pesticides. Who is allowing them to come into the country?
Yeah.
And we're still just on page 2.
And you see, I want to even ask the question then, what is the responsibility of countries that we are in bilateral relations with when it comes to fighting what it is they have already banned?
Exactly.
Because guess who we're buying it from? Them.
And then you wonder why people are suddenly sick. Why didn't you have a surge of cancer in the 2000s going to 2010?
Yep.
From 2012 moving forward is when you've seen cancer cases skyrocket in this country. Why?
And you still see immigration department claiming they have confiscated counterfeit.
I beg they should leave us alone, Jerry.
So I mean, it's a multi-sectoral responsibility to make sure they regulate what comes into the country. You just don't keep us safe from terrorists who come wielding guns and bombs. You also keep us safe from terrorists who come to raid our farms and crops and our health. It's also an issue of public health, because basically what you're saying is that we are feeding, the government has allowed Kenyans to be fed poison. Simple and clear.
That's what you've said.
Yeah.
Come, poison my people. In fact, we pay for it.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
So who benefits? Needs to be looked into.
Police brutality victims give state pay ultimatum.
Oh.
Come on. Where is Jarvis?
Jarvis Bigambo.
This is what I was scared of when this issue of compensation came up. That now we will shift from the rights and justice and demand for dignity and sanctity of life to a financial conversation. That even parents have been reduced to demanding money for the loss of their children. Like, you have not paid me yet.
Can you imagine? My child is dead, but you've not paid me yet for the loss of my child.
It's a new law. We're sinking too low. The conversation ought to be very different. How does this not happen again? Because there's not enough money you can pay to make somebody feel that you have replaced a loved one they lost.
It can't.
And then are we setting a precedent that if somebody is shot and killed, they can be paid?
They're saying they're demanding compensation for police brutality cases, accusing authorities of delays and bureaucracy. They warn they will resume peaceful demonstrations if their grievances remain unresolved. Exactly, that we have to sink to that low? I don't know. So there was drama yesterday morning, last night into Monday morning, where Mukurweini MP John Kagoshia was carted off by hooded DCI officers. They stirred a political storm and ignited debate over whether Kenya's criminal justice system applies the law equally to politicians accused of making inflammatory remarks. What he said over the weekend, he should not have said. First of all.
Yep.
I mean, the way what he said was repeated.
Let's say like it is.
Yeah, come on. Should not have said it. And however, I think that the law needs to be applied
equally,
blanketly, across board. You can't pick you can't cherry pick who you're going to do this to. And then you bring a 40-man army to arrest the man. I mean, what's he going to do? Shoot all of you? Surely.
They also appear against the law of requirement on how police officers should dress.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're breaking the law while trying to uphold the law. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
So is it okay for him to say that? But then, and is it okay for him to say that? And then is it also okay for somebody to call a group of people, a community of people, essentially scoundrel,
hyenas?
Is it okay? Why don't we apply across the board? I think is the question that's coming here.